usually you get, with most business owners or a lot of business owners, that like whenever you've had issues where people have like left after 2 minutes because they are like their appointment's overrun by 2 minutes and they should have been in at 6 rather than 2 minutes past 6, that'll be a driver. And invariably then, like whenever you guys have said that to me, we've had a guy who's left because it was like 3 minutes over or whatever, he'll be a business owner. Nearly always a small business owner who like hasn't been able to figure out how to manage his time, doesn't have a clue how to like not be wherever he needs to be, and can't think of anything worse than being like 5 minutes late. And what they'll always do is start to use the assumption of, I'd never do this to my customers. Like their opinion of themselves is so much higher than what actually is going on in life, it's beyond belief. But that's a classic driver. So when they start to talk like that, that's how you know who they are. So even in that scenario of a driver who's like, I'm a couple of minutes late, or like the session's a couple of minutes late, well, would you like to come back? I've got a couple of different options. The key thing is just to make sure he feels as though he's in control all the time. So that's how you'd recognise them. Usually business owners, lawyers, doctors, dentists, positions of authority, where all day long they are managing people and used to getting their own way and telling people what to do. That's the classic guy. And the way that you get what you want to have happen and what he needs to have happen is you come below them. Okay, no problem. What do you need? What do you want? And they'll start to tell you that they've researched it, they've looked at it, they're very confident in their own decisions. They'll probably want to have it happen very fast, like that day. That's again is a classic scenario of a driver. It needs to happen fast because in the background of it, he's done his research, he's spoke to doctors, he's asked questions, he's confident in his decision making. He made the decision last night and he wants it to happen tomorrow. That's what drivers do. Your amiables are a little bit more tentative and they've took a little bit of time and they're not quite sure and they definitely need the discovery and they need a little bit more love and a little bit more care and they want you to take the decision away from them because they don't want the pressure. The driver, think about who he is, business owner, leader, doctor, dentist, he's used to making decisions all day. He's very confident in making those decisions. Therefore he's confident in making this decision about what he needs to do next for his health. And if you try to tell him he doesn't need what he tells you he wants, you'll lose. It'll just be a fight. You'll go up against it. So your verbiage and your word order has to be incredibly effective, but it also comes with recognising who they are. As a general rule, you might get 1 or 2 out of 10, but the world isn't full of drivers. It's predominantly amiables, a few analyticals, and depending upon where you are, expressives. Well, yeah, think about it. I've just given you a classification of who they are. Business owners, leaders, doctors, lawyers, dentists. There are not that many of them in society, as a general rule. Yeah. Like 3% of the population is small business owners. Probably 1% of the less than 1% will be doctors or lawyers. So there's just a very small pocket of those types of personalities. Think about your amiables. You could walk through Hartlepool town centre this morning and 8 out of 10 of them will be amiables. They're just lovely, contented, get up and go, whatever will be kind of people. So you're much more likely to come across an amiable because that's a reflection in society. Analyticals, not as many. Again, enough of them, and 1 or 2 expressives. So I would probably wager it would be 5 amiables, 1 analytical, 2 expressives, or two analyticals, 2 expressives, and 1 driver. Will probably be what you'll come across. So your amiable is the one that we've built the business around, essentially. Mary's an amiable. Yeah. Mary is a help me make a decision, give me some love, give me some care. I don't really want to get this decision wrong. I know where I am. I don't really know where I want to get to. I just know that this is not quite right at the minute. And if I commit to you, will you love me? Will you care for me? Will you take me under your wing? Will you help me make the right decision? That's our classic. That's our classic patient. Yeah. And that's the difference. She doesn't want the options because it's the last thing she wants to have to do today is to make another decision and potentially get it wrong.